Hey guys, it's Jay, aka That's So Jay, and I'm back with another video. So I can finally share this with you guys because the situation literally just ended about a week ago. So I'm going to tell you guys how I almost lost my license to practice as a speech pathologist assistant. So as you guys can see, these past couple years on my channel, I talk a lot about my career goals to become a speech language pathologist. Currently, I was working as an SLPA in the state of Maryland. If you guys want to know a little bit more about that job change, I did a speech pathology update video. But yes, so basically, I'm just going to get right into the story. So basically, I was working as a contracted SLPA for the past about 4 years now. Pretty much like past 3 years on and off, I've done 3 contracts. The last like year and a half, I went back to working as an ABA therapist slash TA. When my company called me and told me that they had the position in Maryland, I was super duper excited because, of course, whenever I'm contracted, it's a huge pay increase than any job that I can do like around here that's like in the field that's working with kids, but it's not going to pay how an SLPA will pay, especially when you're contracted. So of course I was like super excited. I thought about it for a little bit and then I decided to take the job. They were pretty much the thing about when you are contracted, these school districts are super desperate because the idea of working as a contractor, especially like in an education field, is that they really have nobody else applying for the job and that they're willing to move someone from wherever to come work just to fill in that spot, to make sure that those children are getting those services because it is on their IEP. I worked in Massachusetts where a parent literally reported the school, got lawyers and everything because her child had autism and was not receiving speech therapy because the school did not have a speech therapist, and she went off. And a lot of parents get like that, and I think like as you guys go in this field, you'll learn that parents really want their kids to get speech, physical therapy, OT. They want it all, and it's free. Like all they gotta do is go to public school. So, or I shouldn't say public school because there's some private schools have those other sources too. So pretty much, I was at my job. I promise all this is relevant. I put in my 2-week notice that I was leaving to go back work in my fields. And I was doing everything. I had to do like a drug test. I had to do a TB test. I had to do a physical. I had to do all of those things. And the whole time, my contracting agency and the school are like constantly calling me like, all right, when is she coming? When is she coming? During that time, my SLPA license was also pending. So I had applied for it, but I had not physically received it in the mail. I kept calling the board asking like, hey, when is my license coming in? Because in the past, when I've applied for an SLPA license, they've given it to me literally within like a week or two, or it's like, boom, it's here. But with this state, with Maryland, it was just like they needed so much stuff as opposed to other states. And that's why when a lot of you guys comment on my video saying like, well, what do you have to do? Like, what do I have to do? And it's like, well, every state is different. Massachusetts, literally, like I said, I didn't need a lot of hours. I really just needed a bachelor's degree, and I think they only wanted like 20 hours. So long story short, going into what happened, they called me and they said you can work while your license is pending. So I've gotten clearance from my contracting agency. I got clearance from the school district. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I guess that they can do that, because I know kind of with nursing, some people could work on like temporary licenses, or some things like with teachers, they do that where it's like if you're taking the class, they'll still hire you as a teacher. You just have like a 1 year to make sure you get your credits or whatever. This is not like an uncommon thing, but for speech pathology, yes, it is. But in other fields, they will let you work while you're licensed, or you are saying like you're registered for a test or something. So of course I'm thinking like, all right, it must be all good. So y'all, I'm working with the kids. I moved to Maryland. Everything is going good. I loved the school. I loved the teachers. Everything was just going great. And my supervisor, she was like, okay, so what's the deal with your license, because you're working? And I told her, I was like, oh, it's about to come in. Like, they told me I was good to start. Like, I showed them that it's pending. It's good to start. So of course, she like is being a really nice supervisor, and she decides to help me because she's saying like, hey, I know some people that work up there, because she's like an older lady. She's been in the field of speech pathology for over 40 years. She knows a lot of people. She was a professor. She taught graduate programs, undergraduate programs, so she was pretty familiar. And so I was like, oh, well, thank you so much, because I'm getting kind of worried, like, why is it taking so long? And of course, they kept calling me saying like, oh, you need this, you have to do this. Then I had applied for the wrong license, so I had to reapply for a different license. It was just a lot of just circling around or whatever. So I call, she calls, and she like says my name, and they're like, and then I guess somehow like she sent it, and it's like, oh, well, yeah, she's been working. And like the lady basically goes, wait, pause. What do you mean she's been working and she doesn't have a license? And then like my supervisor goes, well, they told her it was okay for her to start because her license was on the way. When I tell y'all, that lady, I called her and she basically was like, you need to go home. You need to cease and desist and stop working. I'm like about to cry, because the lady's like being like really like, oh, I'm telling the board, I'm gonna like do this and this, like you shouldn't have started while your license was pending. Mind you, they know that I'm licensed in another state. I'm like, well, I'm good with ASHA. I have other SLPA license. Like, the school district told me that it was okay for me to start. So in my mind, I'm like, what are you getting mad at me for? Like, I had permission from the board of special education. I had permission from my contracting agency, who literally does this for a living, where they say you can start. Long story short, you cannot start. And I am telling this because I know my subscribers, a lot of you guys are in the field of speech pathology. A lot of you guys ask about SLPA. A lot of you guys ask about graduate school. The thing that I will always say is, do not start a job until your license is in your hand. If anyone tells you, if you show them, hey, I've paid everything, I'm just waiting for my license to come in the mail, or whatever the case may be, and they say, oh, well, you can start tomorrow and just, send us a copy of your license, say no. Like, do not do that, because technically, it's not even technically, you are working without a license, and that is just like code of ASHA. Like, do not do that. So basically, I did not get in trouble. They did investigate the situation, because the lady did tell the board, and they did want to, get further details on what happened. And when I spoke to the investigator, he was very understanding, because he was like, well, it doesn't sound like, he's like, you were basically following authority. You were basically in a situation where you were new, you were not from this state, your job was telling you this, everyone was making it seem like it was okay, and you were listening, and you are like, these are your bosses, and you were following what they told you. So I was, really was like pleading my case, because y'all know I love this field, and there's not a lot of people that have jobs where they can say like, I will do this for free. I love working with children. I love working in schools. I love coming up with games, activities. There's like nothing about speech pathology that I don't love. So to get in that situation, to have almost been in a situation where I would have been in bad standing, knowing that I've been in good standing for the past 3 years, was just heartbreaking. So basically, about 2 weeks ago, I received a letter in the mail stating that I was okay, that I was not going to be penalized. They understood the situation, that I was in good standing still, and that I wasn't going to have to pay a fine, because there are repercussions Every state, like I said, is different. When you are breaking any type of code of ethics or any type of law, they understood my case. They said, they understood basically that I was a licensed SLPA and that it was not my fault, that it was more of the school district's fault, and kind of my contracting agency for going along and for telling me incorrect information. My supervisor, she was very upset because she said that she apologized because she felt really bad. She felt like she should have said something. She should have told me, like, not to work. But I guess she thought it was okay too, because like she was following, like, at the end of the day, we were following people that were basically in charge of us. And just know that when you are very passionate about something, just make sure you like ask for just make sure you have an understanding of what you're getting yourself into. And I think just being me, like just kind of being naive, because every state is different. Like when I got to Washington, there was a lot of things that SLPAs or conditional SLPs could do that a lot of states don't allow you to do. And just like when I was in Massachusetts, they have early interventionists that could give out tests to like toddlers and preschoolers. But in certain states, it's like SLPAs can't even touch tests, can't touch anything. So every state is different. So I do want you guys, before y'all start commenting and being like, oh my God, you should have known better. Oh my God, why did you start working? Just know that, like I said, every state is different. And as someone that has traveled to 3 different states to work in this field, I've learned a lot. And as I learn, as I make mistakes, I'm always going to get on here, get on camera, and share those mistakes with you guys, because I don't want you guys to make the same mistakes. And I want to be that person to mess up so that I can help somebody else in the future not mess up. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed this story time, comment down below, let me know what you guys think, because your girl was over here heartbroken. I was just devastated, and it was a pretty stressful couple months, because this was not something that just happened and then the next day they were calling me investigating, and then a week later, no, there's something that kind of happened over the stress of it happened for a couple months. And I wanted to make sure when I told you guys the story that I was in good standing and that everything is okay. So I don't want you guys saying like, oh my gosh, she said this on camera. What if someone watches this and reports it? It's already been handled. It's already been situated. So that is why I'm okay sharing this story with you guys, because like I said, I want you guys to learn from this. But stay tuned, you guys. I will keep you guys updated with some more speech pathology videos, some authorpreneur videos, and some lifestyle videos. I have a couple things that I want to show you guys, so stay tuned for some more videos by That's So Jaya.